Human of unknown origin detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived. I wish it were even better. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him. Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community, but you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends. As well you should. I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatist Society. It is gratifying that even after all these years, my name isn't entirely forgotten. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense I was. Everyone that lives here are clones. Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider. Is it? I wish I could illuminate you on this. But we are as ignorant of the technology which brought us into being as we are of the outside world. Not at all. I have had occasion to see death more than anyone. When someone dies, all they have accomplished here in Crucible, all of their deeds, thoughts, are gone. And when they come back, they are different, modified. The believers say they are improved. Being reborn can take years, sometimes over a decade. But everyone comes back. Then you must live a remarkably interesting life. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatists' position on matters. Be careful what you wish for. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with Amanirenas and Genghis Khan.
Welcome to town, stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay, for a modest fee, of course. Oh, I'm not all that. Just had the good fortune to receive some good publicity. But to the matter at hand, I'm more than a humble innkeeper. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that. That's a generous offer. I might take you up on it. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you. At once. I'm hoping you come back for some repeat business.
The mission is a lie, but we have a chance to build a real life here.
Do not.
I had hoped you would visit me.
Delivered.
Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirinas of the Kush, queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me. Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this, but I feel in my bones that I am a Manirinas. I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces and the smells. If your mind and heart remain open, once I called upon. However, on Crucible I still lead. Have you heard of the believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems to bring in a new glorious age and break the endless cycles. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years, and no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright. That would be most appreciated. But the problem isn't here in Crucible. Otherwise, we would have fixed it long ago. The facility is another place on this very A place we cannot go. Goodbye. I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen of a dead... You walk our land, if you don't believe me. But I feel, I remember things no one... And this... You are brave to call me out openly. It is enough to say, I am who I am. Once. However, on Crucible I still, we are the ones who will to bring in a new... So many that we are the chosen. All of us represent... You are skeptical. I made war. No other king or... And that's just me. What are bureaucrats, petty politicians, and... If we could do it ourselves, we would have. I do not care if you think... When someone has achieved their potential, but the machines have been breaking, I need your help. Then listen well, outsider. You must go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
Your visitation is a prayer answered. Why yes, Ada Lovelace, at your service. My namesake worked with Charles Babbage, and is widely considered the first female programmer. And to see what our little experiments led to, I only wish Mr. Babbage was here. I suppose I am what passes for one here. I have my namesake's education, so I am well versed there. But without any books or treatises from other scientists, my knowledge is limited. Some clones received specialized knowledge, like Amelia. She knows how spacecraft works. So interviewing them has been fantastic for learning more advanced scientific principles. But mainly I conduct experiments, rudimentary as they are.
Well, there are some things.
I believe we once
Farewell,
eliminated all
outsider.
the believers. It didn't work.
What if we all ran to the perimeter at once?
Good. Embrace your feelings. Think upon them. They are the seeds.
Weapons out! They come! The man from the stars. Come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you. Then don't believe it. It is true his blood runs through my veins. But I am not he. Crucible tries to imprint the clones with fake memories. Genghis predated the Mongols having written records. For being so great a figure, we know practically nothing about him. When was he born? How he died? Where he was buried? A single speech he gave? Nothing. It must have driven the robots mad, trying to figure out what to do with me. Manners cost me nothing. But make no mistake, I will do whatever it takes to escape this prison. I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls. I would provide fresh meat for my society, so we don't get fat off the robots. Franklin and I see eye to eye on very little, but even he appreciates this. And I always hope to see some means of escape. Perhaps our luck has finally changed. The robots taught me many things any Mongol would know. So, hunting game, even such as this, is little challenge to me. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones? Some of us think that makes us special. But that is blind arrogance. Perhaps you are right. Certainly. Many in Crucible would agree. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day we will be free. Were it that easy, I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it. Oh yes, you can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop dead. I have no knowledge of medicine, but it's probably poison. It boils my blood to be subjugated like this, but too many of the clones are sheep. As long as their pens are clean and comfortable, they bleat their arguments. Even if you think I deserve this cage, does everyone? If you want your heartstrings tugged, talk to Amelia Earhart. Doesn't she deserve the stars she craves? You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
I need to go out there. I want to see and do everything there is to be done. Your ship, she's a beauty. It travels the stars, right? Tell me, what's it like out there? That's just how I imagine it. My name's Amelia Earhart. When I first woke up in this place, in my head, I knew all about my namesake, her life and her accomplishments. But I also knew how to fly a starship, reactor limits, thrust acceleration vectors and everything. In my mind's eye, I can imagine flying out there, touching heaven itself. And yet, cruelly, here I sit. Am I that transparent? Listen, I know you owe me nothing at all, but I would do anything to get off of here. I know the societies want who knows what from you for who knows why, and I don't want to get involved in any politics. I just want, for my single self, a chance to explore. You won't regret it. Thanks. Do you want to talk about anything else? I have a few choice, unchristian thoughts about some of them, but I'm going to stay out of it. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. Any at all. I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish harm on anyone. I just want to explore. No, I don't. I consider myself a most ardent admirer of hers. She feels like family. Distant family. I like to think we both share a kindred spirit of adventure, though. She broke so many barriers in her life. I would love the same opportunity one day. Goodbye, outsider.
So, you have heard from the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them, and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across. A very diplomatic approach. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. Setting us all loose in part or as a whole would invite disaster. We are barely fit to lead ourselves. Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. It is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die when our allotted time is finished. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. We are just not there yet. Please, I beg you, listen, look, and think. Who are these people, and what would they do? I hope, for all our sake, you will come to see the light.
Over here! We need to talk.
This is an undisclosed. Acknowledging receipt of emergency explanation clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped... I wish it were... Your arrival is... The societies have closed, while the rest hide. Franklin would know what to do. Give it time, and I'm sure for curiosity.
When your ship landed, I am greatly... But you... As well, I am Franklin Down. Well, it is. You see, everyone that lives... When we die, I cannot... Then you must... After a decade. The robots clone us for a reason. But what that... It's best you meet with the... Word has been sent. There is more I would. Go speak with the Monerinas and Genghis Khan.
Welcome to town, stranger. The name's... What? Furrow. Oh, I'm not all. But to the matter at hand, I do the best I can to uphold. I expect I've had I do what I can. That's a generous offer. Well, I hope you enjoy. And by the by, happy to sell them to you. A pleasure talking with you. Who's it about?
I had hoped you would visit me. Know that you, queen of a dead kingdom, on a dead world. Your courtesy is... If you don't believe me, no, you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know, but I feel in my... I remember... And this smell. If you're mine, once. However, we are the one to bring in a new glorious... I do not care when someone has... But the machines have been... I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim... That would be most appreciated. Otherwise, we would have... Then listen well. Out. The robots and what drives... The facility is where they come. None of us can travel there. Go there.
Weapons out! They come!
origin detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver.
This is incredible. For so long. I wish it were even better. Your arrival is... The societies have closed their... while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. Give it time, and for curiosity's sake, if not...
Non-resident detected. Valid exception acknowledged.
When your ship landed, I am greatly relieved, but you... As well you should. I am Franklin Down. Well, it is. You see, everyone that lives here, when we die, I cannot imagine how... Then you, after decades, the robots clone us for... But what that... It's best you meet with the... Word has been sent. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Ghost.
I might have some stuff you can... Welcome to town, stranger. The name's Wyatt, for a modest. I'm hoping you come back for some repeat business.
I need to go out there. I want to see and do everything there is to be done. Your ship, she's a beauty. It travels the... That's... When I first woke up in this place, in my head, I knew... But I also knew, in my mind's eye, I can imagine. And yet... Am I that transparent? Listen, I know you. I know the societies. I just want... You won't regret. Do you want to talk about any... No, I don't. I consider myself a most ardent admirer of hers. She feels... She broke so... I have a few choices. Listen, I understand you making any I just hope you judge me separate. Goodbye, outsider.
Adhere to the mission.
I had hoped you would know that you stand before Queen of a dead... Your courtesy is appreciated. If you don't believe me, but I remember, and the smells. If your mind and heart once, however, on Crucible ice, we are the one to bring in a new... I do not care when someone has achieved their potential, but the machines, I need your help to properly... That would be most appreciated. Otherwise, we would have fixed it long. I need you to go to the robots and what drives them. The facility is... None of us can travel there. Go there, please.
The man from the star. And you're not a Genghis Khan. Manners cost me, but make no mistake. I am pleased that you cannot be fully human if you... The robots taught me. So Franklin told you of us. Some of us, but that is... Perhaps you are right. But all this talk, too many of the others grovel at. The renegades will not submit. Were it that easy, I have died on. You get too far or disobey. But now, you hold. Oh yes, you can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop. I have no knowledge of medicine. As long as the pens are... I sense fire in you. You know of the facility. It is not much.
So, you have heard from the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what you might be the first objectively neutral party. A very diplomatic approach. The facility has gathered. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. The most likely case is anyone that leaves Crucible would die or silently fail. But if the mission is correct, and they do take over the settled systems, in the course of history, it took millennia to cast out petty tyrants. Terrible and great figures we represent had their time. We made the most of it. We should be at peace. Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. It is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. You have no idea how profoundly grateful I am to hear that. Go to the facility and see what can be done.